all, hope you all are fine. In this video, I'm going to discuss the concept of direct and indirect variation. Okay? So first we'll understand that what are direct and indirect variation. So I'll begin with direct variations. Okay? So two quantities are given like x and y. Okay? So when I say that x and y are indirect variations, okay, variation matlab the changes, okay, the change that we see, okay. So when these two quantities are said to be in direct variation, when if the value of x changes, okay, changes means whether it is increasing or decreasing, then the value of y will also change likewise. It means that if the value of x increases, the value of y will also increase, okay, and if the value of x decreases, the value of y also decreases, okay. So we can understand this concept by taking one example, okay, like if x is the number of articles, okay, and y I'm taking as the cost of the articles. So if the number of articles will increase, then definitely the cost of articles will also increase, isn't it? Likewise, if the number of articles is less or decreases, then the cost of articles will also decrease, okay. If we will buying more quantity of something, then we have to pay more, and if we are buying less quantity, then we have to pay less, okay. So then these quantities x and y are said to be in direct variation. Like when there is more petrol in our car, we can travel more. If less petrol is there, we travel less, or the distance traveled is less, isn't it? So these are few examples of direct variations, okay. For example, x1 upon y1 is equal to x2 upon y2 is equal to x3 upon y3. Then such quantities are said to be in direct variation when they are proportional or their ratio is same, okay. So what are direct variations, or the quantities are said to be in direct variations when when one article changes, likewise the other article changes. It means that if the first quantity increases, then the other quantity also increases, and if the first quantity decreases, the other quantity also decreases, okay. Now we will discuss the indirect variation. Two quantities are said to be in inverse variations. Like if I have x and y as two quantities, so if the first quantity changes but the second quantity changes inversely, that means if the first quantity increases and the second quantity decreases, okay, so then these two quantities are said to be in inverse variation, okay. For example, when the price of something, of some article increases, then we buy it in less quantity, okay. Or in other words, if the work that is done in 20 days by 50 people, okay, but if we increase the number of people, like from 50 to 100 if we do, then the number of days it will take to complete that particular work will be 10 days. So here when we are increasing the number of people or number of men, okay, to do that particular work increases, the time taken or the number of days taken to complete that particular work decreases. So it means when one quantity increases, the other quantity decreases, or vice versa. If the first quantity decreases and the second quantity increases, then these two quantities are said to be in inverse variation. Okay? Like number of men, if increases, then time taken to complete the particular work, it decreases. Okay? In this, the inverse variation is written as x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2, and so on. In this way, x1 y1 is equal to x2 y2, then we say that these variations is a kind of inverse variation, or we can say the quantities are in inverse variation. Okay, so hope you understood the concept of inverse and direct and inverse variation. In my later videos, I am going to discuss some of the questions. Okay, so if you want to ask any question regarding this concept, you can comment in the comment section. Okay.